which we haven't heard, to put the 185,000 in.
Right.
And so what you would have is the 28,000, which was the previous action, the results of the previous action. You'd have the additional 112,000 in revenue. You would have the minus 258,000 in the fund balance closeout. And so I guess maybe if you could take out the 185, then we can see what the result would be.
Well, we're gonna
And
have-
as far as I know, that's where we would be without any further action from the board. Would you
This
agree
is-
with that?
Right.
No.
No, I think I had the floor, excuse me,
Okay.
the staff interrupted, I mean appropriately
Yeah,
so.
okay.
But my point being here is, no, we don't have anything of that. This is the point of contention, I believe. We walked out of here the last go-round with there being questions about the teeter balance. The idea of the landfill was thrown out there to be looked at, but I mean, we've got no consensus on that.
Right.
So I think here, and this is precisely the crux of the matter, is how do we close this out and go to a 4-1 vote required from here on out? That's, I guess, what I have to ask county council. We certainly shouldn't be forced into a position of saying, well, we'll take what we've been arguing about because this is makes it easier. I think it's really a legal question here. How do we avoid legal complications?
ahead.
Can I just explain one thing here, though? What I'm thinking would happen as a result that doesn't, it's all the actions you took from before. The 112,000 has nothing to do with teeter. That's the
Right,
auditor's
right.
update of the budget unit 1,000
Right.
revenues. And the fund balance closeout has nothing to do with teeter. That has to do with, it's been adjusted based on the latest stuff. So I'm assuming that those are standard adjustments that we pretty much have to take the numbers on.
No, you're correct. You're correct about that. I
But
agree.
I'm saying the 185,000, you have not given direction
that's
on,
the heart
and
of
so
it,
that would
yeah.
have to be taken out. So that would leave us with 174,000 over
Negative.
budget.
What?
Okay. Kendall was next, John, I'm sorry.
Oh, well, county councils.
Supervisor, well, was there a comment from the county council?
Well, essentially, you started the budget hearings with your proposed budget that you previously agreed to, and you've made adjustments to those numbers. But your hearings now, because you waited because we're at the deadline for the public hearings, once the hearing's closed, you are essentially dealing with the proposed budget with the minor adjustments that the auditor had to put in. And any changes to that between now and adoption of the final budget require a 4/5 vote.
Excuse me. I need to make a clarification. It's not just those minor adjustments up there. We have all of the housekeeping detail that has to be put into there. So it changes the numbers completely. Once the board adopts, they're going to have to, make some decisions about all these housekeeping adjustments as well, because those numbers are going to change in the final budget numbers for the whole county budget that the auditor has to do. Not just that one sheet here. That's just an additional sheet that we were looking at coming in here to today. So you would actually have to take action on that whole housekeeping adjustment sheet as well.
And that wasn't implied by...
Not until the board actually finally adopts the budget are those numbers going to be put into the Munis system as final numbers, including the housekeeping adjustments.
But I guess the issue would be, have we received that direction to be able to put that into the final adopted budget?
We haven't, as far as I know, the last 2 days of the last final budget hearings did not address a formal action to deal with the housekeeping adjustments. Once the board approves the budget as a whole, as what we were hoping to get to today, those housekeeping adjustments, as they always have been in the past, will be put in as going into the final numbers that come in on your resolution for final budget adoption. So we just take it for granted and assume that when the board says these are the actions that we want you to, that you're giving the staff and the CEO's office to take for direction for the final budget, that the housekeeping adjustments are in fact part of that budget. But if we don't do that today,
That was my position. That's what I believed.
Yes, that's correct.
So, yeah. Okay, Supervisor Smith.
That was to that. I think we're left with the more or less the proposed budget if we haven't taken any steps to change it, so.
Okay. Supervisor, let me go to Johnny before.
Well, I don't think we want to follow the steps of our state colleagues over at the state legislature and prolong this. I'm going to throw out another idea. Tom, you mentioned that a furlough day amounts to about $500,000.
Three.
Furlough days equate to $500,000.
What if we done like 4 furlough days and excluded DOT employees and sheriff and jail employees?
What way?
You'd also have to add probation employees, and what we'd have and HHSA, which is 95% federal. So I think just to give us general direction, that was the number I quoted you were general fund employees, less probation,
Yeah.
less sheriff, because
Okay.
some of those are 24